Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Acupuncture is My Life. Now, in this episode, I'd like to continue my discussing on things in which we're doing every day that's destroying our kidneys. And I'm noticing that this series has become very popular because many individuals are responding via the Acupuncture is My Life app with tons of questions with regard to what they do every day and had no clue. Let's say they didn't know that substitute sugar is bad for the kidneys, artificial sweeteners, or how late they stay up at night and how it affects the kidneys. And I'm responding to a lot of messages, and if you have any questions, just simply download the Acupuncture is My Life app. If you're an iPhone user, at the Apple Store, and if you're a Android user, at the Google Play Store, it's free. And you can ask questions, and there's so many health blogs you can read. You can watch our YouTube channel and learn so much about the many disorders in which acupuncture can treat as well. But in knowing so much about how, or with regard to how we're destroying our kidneys on a daily basis, I'm glad I had the opportunity to do this series, but I'm going to conclude this series by starting out with individuals who do exercise. And I know I advocate for exercise, but exercise in a healthy fashion without taking drugs, i.e. steroids. Everything that you need to build a nice, strong, healthy body can be found in the foods in which you eat. So, using steroids to gain muscle, guess what you're doing? There's a trade-off. You're gaining muscle, but losing your kidneys. Is it worth it? Because steroids tend to scar a person's kidneys. It's not good. It's not worth it. And there have been individuals who've used steroids for years, and their kidneys eventually failed. Proper exercise, a great diet, and regular wellness visits to your acupuncturist, you'll see a difference in your physique in a short period of time. Another, and it goes back to diet, because acupuncture is so well versed in Eastern nutrition. And guess what? In seeing an acupuncturist and undergoing Eastern nutrition consultation, guess what you will not need? You will not need medication to treat heartburn in the way of even, say, proton pump inhibitors or over-the-counter medication, which is wreaking havoc on your liver and your kidneys. But proton pump inhibitors for heartburn increases your risk of chronic kidney disease by upwards of 30%. 30%. When all you have to do is just see an acupuncturist for regular wellness visits. And I've said this plenty of times. You're removing the burden of health from your shoulders by doing your annual visits with the physician and regular wellness visits periodically with an acupuncturist. Because at our clinic here in New York City, at the Acupuncture is My Life clinic, we always recommend We always check our patients' blood pressure regularly, which is generally what most acupuncturists do. Why? Because blood pressure can be seen as a silent killer, which doesn't produce symptoms immediately. Not knowing your blood pressure for an extended period of time, you're putting yourself at risk of kidney disease. Why? Because high blood pressure destroys your blood vessels on the insides of your kidneys. And when those blood vessels fail, your kidneys can no longer regulate blood pressure. And many individuals don't know that. They take blood pressure tests or blood pressure exams lightly. That's not good to do. It's not. You see, here at Acupuncture is My Life, we understand that health is wealth. We understand that the wealth is not in the bank. It's not in a safe. It's not in your purse. It's not in your pocket. It's not under the mattress. It's not in the shoebox in the closet. And it's not under the doghouse in the backyard. We understand that the wealth is in you. And understanding that, we also recommend you go light or even get rid of drinking coffee every day. And I know I've been through this many times, and many individuals who respond via the Acupuncture is My Life app by messaging us and saying they're not going to stop coffee. They need it in their life. Ooh, take a second and think about that. You need coffee in your life. You need coffee in your life. You can't survive without it. Take a second and really give that some thought. And then try and understand that caffeine creates sudden spikes in a person's blood pressure. And think about what I just spoke about with regard to checking your blood pressure and elevated blood pressure and what it does to the blood vessels inside of your kidneys. Nice cup of black tea, teaspoon of organic honey, cinnamon stick, and you are good. You will quickly forget about coffee. And then the additives are even worse, like the cream and the flavored syrups and the lattes. These things are wreaking havoc on your kidneys as well. And another that I'm sure may surprise many of you guys, because you guys love shrimp, crab, lobster, shellfish. I myself would say get rid of it totally. But start by reducing your consumption to the point where eventually you'll forget about it. Because they're sea scavengers and they possess or contain a toxic chemical called domoic acid. Domoic acid hurts, wreaks havoc on the kidneys. And definitely increases your risk of kidney disease. You really, really want to be as careful as possible. You know what? If you're operating a vehicle right now, do me a favor and pull it over to the side of the road. If you're crossing the street, hurry up and safely get across the street. And if you're carrying or lifting something heavy, take a moment and rest it down. I need everyone in a relaxed position right now. Why? Because I need you to say to yourself, with your eyes closed, acupuncture is my life. And then open it. Boom. You are now brand new. And brand new you are. Now this is quite interesting, but it's like all right, it goes back to me saying seeing your physician on an annual basis and regular visits with your acupuncturist is important, because getting MRIs, X-rays, CAT scans are not good for the body whatsoever, and the impact that it plays on the kidneys. And sometimes with these MRIs or CAT scans, you may have to take certain type of contrast dyes. Now, I know when you're drinking these things, you know you're putting poison in your body, which can create contrast-induced nephropathy, which is a form of kidney disease. Because contrast-induced nephropathy causes the kidneys to literally shut down for about 3 days. That is insane. And many of you will say, well, sometimes we have to do that. Why? Why? Because you were not in a healthy state. Your body just began failing you in a certain way. So now you have to, take a certain type of test, CAT scan or MRI, or even an X-ray, to learn the state of that particular organ or blood vessels, if there's any blockage. Guess what? If you were seeing an acupuncturist for regular wellness visits, the likelihood of you having to do that, yeah, I'm sure you can figure that one out. And I'm sure it does help you understand that, or rather, it does help you understand why I recommend that you make acupuncture a part of your life. Because acupuncture is my life. What's yours?